Nick Dory here with my Aunt Lynn and my Uncle Bo. Say hi, guys. We're doing great, doing great. Yeah, we're just hanging out, just talking about life, talking about all the good stuff that's happening, and yeah. I know today we have a special guest, Uncle Bo. We usually just have my aunt here, so it's nice to have you on today. Yeah. I think the main topic of today, or whatever you guys would like to talk about, but I know one topic of conversation we wanted to bring up was gardening and lawn care because we got Uncle Bo on the podcast today. So, um, like for example, today right before I got on, I was cutting the lawn because I got all these weeds sprouting up with my grass. But I'm trying not to cut the grass because it's too new, and it's not even like at 3 inches yet. But all the weeds are like sprouting up around it. So just curious if you guys have any cure-alls or any tips or tricks. Mm, 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 mm. Yeah, yeah, that's what I've been doing. Mm, was mm. Mm, yeah, and then they're not too bad. It's it's only like really in the backyard. The front yard's pretty good, and it's the whole neighborhood has the problem, so it's not like just me. So that's good, but it is like I'm just gonna trim them all. Like I kind of have them cut down, but it's just with the problem is the backyard grass is like not as established as the front yard, so I don't want to like kill the grass in the back, and then I have to like save it. So I've been cutting it. I'll just cut it and just leave it on the ground too. So like whatever that like fertilizes or whatever helps the grass grow a little bit. But yeah, it's gonna. Yeah, yeah. Yes, yeah. Yes, yes. Hmm. Mhm. Mhm. Yeah. 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 Mm. Mm. Yeah. It's yeah, and I know it's like just getting established. Everyone's working on it too, but yeah, it's getting there. The front lawn area looks really good. Like it looks, I have to cut that pretty regularly now, but yeah, that back is a little. That's the part that had me nervous a little bit. Um, yeah, 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 yeah. Mhm. Oh, give it. Yeah, lay it down. Mhm. 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 Mm. Mhm. 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 Hmm. Hmm. Mm. Mm. Mhm. 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 Mhm.
Four trees planted together. Eventually, they'll choke each other out and they'll die, or part of the tree will die, and
Yeah.
it looks like crap. And
Yeah.
eventually, you have to cut those down. And then we've seen people, um, like the old, like some of our neighborhood has some older trees in it that they built the houses kind of around, and they've had to come since they put the house in. When they dug the foundation, it damaged the root system of the tree. So it looked like it was live, but it was actually dead. Those trees have like fallen over. They actually haven't hit the house, but a limb has gone through someone's window here
Yeah.
from some of the trees. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's one of the dangers. Yeah, it looks great having all the trees around your house, but like Lynn mentioned something about the root systems. There's instances where the sewer going to the city line has been compromised and it backs up the toilets into your house
Oh my God,
and
totally.
it's tens of thousands of dollars in damage and to repair. And the actual sewage line itself, I don't think that's covered by. You need a certain waiver on your
Yeah,
homeowner's
that's not
insurance, I
covered by
believe, for that
insurance.
for the just the sewer line, but a lot of the indoor damage is covered. But
Know your
yikes, man.
lines.
It's a
Yeah.
shitty problem.
Yeah.
We've had people in our neighborhood wake up and their toilets are blowing the water back into your house.
Yeah, not
The
good.
toilet water. So, not a good thing.
Yeah, so what we did is we have maple trees. I think sugar maples are the best. But we have two maple trees in the back corner of our yard. Now, our yard isn't all that big, but we get to enjoy the tree, and they're not big enough that they would ever hit our house. It might take down part of a fence, but that's replaceable. So that would be maples are the best. A lot of other trees are just messy, and never, ever, ever buy a crab apple. Ever. Those are the
They're
worst.
so messy. They're so messy. They look good for about 2 weeks and then they're just messy.
Yeah, I remember
Ours,
my
ours,
when. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, start making notes. Crab apple, no.
I was gonna say one
Yeah,
of
we
my.
have lots of tips on that.
I would say one of my coworkers that I used to work with. He grew up with like a it's like an apple tree, a crab apple tree, and he would say how like yeah you get apples like maybe a little bit out of the year, but then the rest of the year they're all like these soggy, like sticky, just like and there's
Yep.
like attracting insects and all that stuff. And he's like, oh man,
yeah, the rotten ones fall and yeah, yeah, that,
Yeah, do your research.
pick your, pick your trees wisely.
Yeah,
And also like the pine trees,
mm-hmm.
sometimes
yeah.
and also those get root bound and then just die. Like the ones that you'll see, oh wow, this is a nice 10-foot tree. But then you look at the bottom and the ball, and they damage the roots when they dig those things up. So sometimes it'll just be root bound into the ball and won't grow outside the ball, and it'll within a couple of years it'll be dead. So you kind of see that a lot in this
Buy
area.
small.
Like
Yeah.
the
Yeah,
people
they
want
put
to
some
put the instant.
they put some pines
And
out
people,
front. It's like two like mini pines, so I don't know how big they'll get, but I think they're like more. They're not like gigantic pines, but more
right,
decorative.
right, yeah, yeah. The smaller, if you start with smaller,
Mm-hmm.
I think it gives it a better chance to grow into the area. Whereas if you get a tree that looks like it's more established, those tend to struggle a little bit more.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
without a doubt. Yeah, start small because when we first started, we bought some trees that were, I don't even know, 10 years old,
Yeah,
maybe.
the guy had to bring them in with a semi in the back, and he had this big digger and stuff.
Yeah,
And that was a waste of money because everyone that we knew that bought a tree from this guy, all those trees are dead.
yeah,
There's like one person in our neighborhood that their tree lived.
yeah. So you always start small so that way it can adapt to the land that it's going to live in. But I again, maples, they've been just amazing. Everything else that we've put in, pine, etc., have been difficult, especially in an area that has a lot of clay in their soil.
Yeah, they scraped all the topsoil off when they built our house, and so when they plant your seed in the backyard and they put the sod in, they're supposed to give you like 6 inches of topsoil. If you look and you dig that stuff up, there's maybe two.
Yeah,
It's bad.
yeah,
But in our backyard, when we planted the seed back there, we brought in a truck full of dirt and I spread that all over the backyard. And then I built a garden with it. Um, so that really kind of kickstarted our backyard was by bringing in all that dirt. Um, so when you go to put in a garden at your place, you know, mark the area off, take the grass out and stuff. And that's when the work starts, is when you get it ready to put plants in, because you need to bring in some soil and improve it, or else it's going to be kind of wasting your money.
Yeah, it's a. I was gonna say too, talking about the trees as well. That because I attend a lot of my city has like citizens sustainability council meetings where like citizens talk about like environmental issues, and there's this program there where the city like plants trees for people. So I was like, oh, maybe I'll
Oh,
take advantage
nice.
of that. Yeah, and
Yeah, definitely.
but some of the they were saying, oh yeah, well we got to be careful because like where you plant them at, like if there's like a water line or something like that, like you were saying, like the roots will like get into the water line and then just like
Yep.
cause a whole bunch of damage and everything like that. So
Yeah, that's an issue.
yeah, a lot to figure out. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, but things like that, the village would help you with. I think if they're giving you the tree, they'll be like, okay, don't plant it here.
Yeah.
And a lot of times, like they'll come out and mark. Okay, if you're going to plant a tree, have to come out and mark
call Julie.
where your utilities are and stuff. And that when they come out and do that, that could give you a good idea where to plant stuff, because you're like, okay, I don't want to plant anything where they're going to have to dig it up. Especially like when it comes to internet and telephone stuff. If you have well, not telephone, but cable, you don't want to have any any mess with that, because that's your livelihood a lot of times where you have to work, is use those lines. So those are usually the more precious ones. The other ones like the gas line and stuff like that, those are usually a lot deeper than like the phone lines and the internet lines. So you don't really, and they're a lot harder to break. 'Cause you'll hear the gas line when you hit it with the shovel. 'Cause
You don't want to do that.
it's a little harder to break than it is the telephone
Sure.
line.
Yeah.
And the electric cables are, they have such a thick plastic around them that it really takes a lot to break that. But, still you don't want to mess with any of that stuff, because that's just trouble.
Yeah. Do you have power lines or are they all buried?
They're all buried.
Okay, good. Yeah, if anybody ever buys an old house, never plant anything underneath the power lines, because sooner or later they're just going to hit the power lines and that causes a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, like branches taking out your power.
Yeah, yeah. In our old apartment, before we moved into the house, we were in like an older community, and like there's a lot of trees. Like people would have to like, I don't know how. I guess they have to hire somebody, or like they have a tool, but they'd have to like
Yeah, or they do it
cut out
themselves.
around like the wire, and it's like at that point you're like,
Yeah.
you're not even really growing the tree, you're just cutting it at that point.
I know
In our
the tree looks
area-
deformed.
In our area, they have crews, that company that goes around and trims the power lines, which is just a complete waste of money.
Yeah, we've seen these big vast front yards, and then there's the power line. And Dave's like, why on earth would they plant all those pine trees or whatever trees right underneath the power line? It doesn't look good, and it's just not smart, because you don't want a fire.
Yeah.
You don't want that line coming down. Obviously, it's a disruption, but you don't want anybody getting hurt because a power line comes down because you are a knucklehead putting a bunch of something underneath the power lines.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Now that we've said that, Nick, you'll see it. You'll
Yeah.
see what we mean.
Yeah, I'll see it everywhere I go. Tell you
Yeah,
about
for
it.
sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
I think it has to do with trying to keep those a company in business. It's like some kind of scam.
Dave's always looking for the
Yeah,
scam
no,
and
dude, it's
things.
the state of Illinois. It's always that way. So they have these crews out there. It's probably owned by some guy who knows somebody at ComEd. You know, it goes back, probably 50 years, and it's still the same
That
thing.
relationship, right?
Yeah, don't make sure just trim the trees. Don't cut them down underneath the power lines. Instead of doing it once, just keep going back year after year, trim those same trees, so they keep growing and they look like half-assed. It's like an tree, but just keep them there because we have to come and trim them on.
Dave always thinks that there's conspiracy
There
behind
is.
everything.
There
We
is.
have to have a whole podcast on
Yeah, I
conspiracy.
can bring up the whole city of Chicago and the state of Illinois and how it's all run by a bunch of crooks.
Yeah, for sure.
And they'll take bribes for millions and millions of dollars, and they'll get a fine for 50 grand and do 18 months community
Oh, yeah.
service.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Not even. I mean, maybe just
No.
a fine. That's it.
But I'm going to run for office, man. Launching my candidacy for governor of the state of Illinois.
Yeah. So, Dave, why don't you tell us what you think the biggest conspiracy is going on right now?
The biggest one right now.
Right now, what comes top of mind,
Oh, no,
Dave?
dude, we're supposed to be talking about.
Well, let's
Freaking
add a little
flowers.
bit of
Whatever.
let's add some spice to this, man.
About how. Hey, dude, I don't want to get political here, so.
We can do whatever. We can talk about something else. We don't have whatever you guys want to talk about. I'm fine.
I want Dave's conspiracy.
How
I
about
don't
this?
need-
Let's do this. We'll do.
I don't want you to have haters.
No, you don't want phone calls from your sister or from Janet?
Yeah, the one Democrat would be on my ass. They're both criminals, so it doesn't matter. We're stuck.
I think it's important to hear everyone's opinion, regardless of.
Oh, it's true, and people die for that for me to like lip off
Yeah.
about things. So,
Yeah.
and I vote, so I have a say. I want to say that I voted for neither big candidate in the last. Well, I voted for the biggest candidate in the last election, but I didn't vote for the Democrat or the Republican. I voted for the right one.
Yeah, we had write-ins.
Yeah, I did a write-in,
Oh,
man.
Yeah.
Do you mind sharing what your write-ins were? Because I voted for Jill Stein this last presidential cycle. So
Oh, you did? Oh, okay.
And who was that? An independent?
yeah, they're the Green Party. So they're like a group that I do like this
Libertarian
on
almost?
sustainability stuff, and we try to organize around DeKalb and stuff like that. But basically, it's like an international party. But basically, it's more of like a I don't want to say liberal, I would say more progressive kind of party, where, for example, like against the war in Gaza, against money in politics, for economic justice and environmental issues and stuff, that kind of stuff. But it's just not.
Well, you're one of those.
It
No,
was,
I'm kidding.
If you know, I think it was like not Florida, not. Remember when it was the Bush and Al Gore election, and then there was
Yes.
another person running.
It was Ross Perot, was it?
No, that
No,
was Clinton and Bush.
Oh, okay.
I can,
Who was the third one? Yeah, because sometimes those independents can throw an election one
Yeah.
way they didn't expect it to.
yeah, exactly, and that's. I just want to say that person was. I think it was. Yeah, that guy was Green Party. But yeah, who did you guys? We don't have to share.
Well, I can go ahead and say it. Dave and I both.
No, you voted for God. I voted for Jah.
Oh, we both voted for the higher power
I
because if we're living in the end of times, I just want to make sure I had that documented.
Well, we're both in the end of times because we're getting old.
Yeah, right. No, we couldn't back either candidate fully, so
I'm just sick of all of it. Can people just be nice?
it's
do-
over and over and over again.
We send our money for bullshit, and then what do we get back? Bunch of crybabies that all for me.
Can't we just all get
none for
along?
me.
yeah.
All for me, none for you.
It is a really interesting time, I think, in American politics because it is a lot of. And I think it's kind of baked into this. It's built into the system. This like antagonistic divide between two parties. Like really,
Yeah.
it really shouldn't be. And I think the way this is set up through corporate lobbying, and obviously billionaire individuals where it's taking two parties and like having them. That's like the illusion of like control, like two people fighting. But really, I mean, for me, I do a lot of like local politics, like like city council meetings and stuff like that. And there's a lot of politics that that really affects people every day that people don't. I mean, obviously the president and like your senator and stuff is a big deal. But
Yeah,
there's
it's
still
the
a lot of,
local, so like your board, your school
Yeah.
board and stuff.
Absolutely. And that's even that has a lot of decisions too. So, yeah, I think some people get caught up in like the fight between these two parties, when really it's like the
Yeah, it's more grassroots than that.
Yeah, the system's designed to like kind of take you, kind of antagonize you into losing faith in the system, when really you should be a part of it instead of,
Right.
fighting it. But yeah, no, I agree. And there's like a lot of stuff. I can show you guys a lot of crazy like podcasts and stuff and videos that I watch too. Like, obviously, like the Jeffrey Epstein thing is like a big issue right
Oh
now.
my God.
For a lot of people.
That
Even,
whole
like,
thing is just scummy.
It really is. It's really crazy. Another crazy one is like, just money exchanging through politics, especially now with Trump. Like, I don't mind like if people want to vote conservative or Republican, stuff like that. But like the amount of money that's exchanging hands with other governments is like, like buying somebody a jet airplane that's going to be refurbished for like $100 million. Like, that's crazy. Like, that's something.
Yes.
$100 million, that's cheap. That's on the cheap end.
well, they're
The
giving
plane
them
is
the
worth
jet.
like $700 million.
They're giving them the jet, and then it's like $100 million just to refurbish it. I think that's $100
Wow.
million.
And then it can go to his presidential library at the end.
Exactly. Then it's not for anybody else. So I won't get too much in that, but like, even Democrats, like even like, I remember like when Blagojevich, he got, I think he got,
Vlado, he's my favorite, man. I love that guy.
God, like that's what's funny too, is so many of these people have like, it's not even like they're politicians, it's like they're just entertainers, like which I mean, it doesn't.
Yeah, let's go to
really-
Blago for 1 second. The thing about that guy is everyone does that. Everyone
Yeah.
gets something for that seat. Everyone uses their influence to get what they want, and it might cost, they might have to get donations to their campaign or some bullshit. But it happens all the time, and
Yeah.
that makes it, to me, that's wrong. If you get caught, you're dumb. That's the way I look at it. He was just dumb.
And it's hard too, because a lot of these politicians, obviously, like what happens is they need money to run their campaigns, to stay in office and like run ads and stuff like that. So money is already kind of like injected into the factor. So something
Yeah,
I've been struggling with, and I don't know what the solution is to this. Is like, how do you get politics like to take the money out of it? But like, it seems like it's so intertwined at this point, especially in America. Like, it just doesn't seem like there's. I mean, obviously,
There's
there's
any
like,
hope.
asking people for money. There's just like the grassroots of asking for money, but I don't know if that can actually compete with like, billion-dollar corporations that are like, you can just drop this kind of.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's like what Musk did, putting his
Oh, yeah, right,
hundreds of millions in the air.
But it is interesting though that doesn't like it was that Wisconsin judge election recently that he did put a lot of money into, but they did lose that election.
He
it's
lost,
interesting-
yeah.
So it's interesting to see when money obviously is a factor, but when it's sometimes just like just getting thrown in the fire. It's like you spent all this money on this, and then you didn't.
And then nothing happened.
So it's like I don't know. I don't want to say like just being aware and being politically like on the having good information is like can help. It could probably help mitigate that, but at the end of the day, the foundations of all these, money is just money in politics. It's just hard to find the proper way out of that. Like, I don't even think
It's hard to separate it. Well, what I thought they should do is you have to limit the amount that you can donate. So if you can only put in like $2,000 a person per company or per anything, instead of having these super PACs that can raise, millions of dollars, if they did away with all that and just said, okay, everyone gets, $500 or whatever to donate, And then, you better be smart with how you do work with your donations then, and have the right kind of TV people or internet campaign or whatever.
And that's
Um,
crazy.
That's
right?
interesting.
Oh, sorry, were you gonna say, Liz?
Oh, I said no. That's interesting. I just was thinking back. I don't remember what election it was. Was that it was during Black Lives Matter, which of course every life matters. But I think, and I don't want to be a rumor mill gossiper creator, whatever.
what did they do with that money?
I know. I remember Pepsi doing a huge campaign and funding money into Black Lives Matter, and then wasn't all of that tied into the Democrats?
They were taking the money and donating it to the politicians then,
Yeah,
or mismanaging it and buying
yeah, and
things
I
to
think
go
it all
on
had to do with the
trips.
Democrats trying to sway sway an election away from Trump or something.
Yeah.
No, it was
My details are sketchy, but I just know that Black Lives Matter, there was some nefarious background to that.
Yeah, I don't know too much about that, but it's probably it's hard too because a lot of these organizations like I know another issue talking about organizations when you don't donate like what they do with this money. So a lot of organizations are like funded by either billionaires or some rich conglomerate where it's basically they have like control over this issue. So for example, like I know one organization like helps with homelessness, and so like it's kind of like the money faucet that can be turned on and off when homelessness is an issue or like what to do about it. It's not really that these organizations are solving these issues. It's more of like when politicians come in, they can like work with these organizations, but if they don't do it the way the organization wants it, where it's just continually having this issue, but it's not actually solving the root cause of it. Like the politicians get to say, oh, okay, we're like part of this issue, we're helping with it, but we're not like actually attacking the root causes, like housing.
Right.
Yeah, they're perpetuating the problem.
Exactly, and it's like, and then at this point, it's like you could turn the money off from these organizations and say, okay, well, we don't want your help, or it's kind of like, what do you do in that situation where it's like, okay, well, we can have access to these resources, but it's not the way.
They have to do it a certain way, yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's that.
Okay, let's talk conspiracies. I think Area 51 is real, and I think the government is hiding aliens in plain sight.
Okay, well,
That is what I think.
let's break it down then. So, Area 51.
Let's break that one down, Nick.
So Area 51 is, I mean, it is a real place, but you mean real as in like, there's actual like aliens and like
Yeah, man.
experimentation.
Alien conspiracists all agree.
I agree. So
Oh, that's what was it, Dave?
the ancient aliens.
They-
you say?
Yeah, from Ancient Aliens. They all agree. When they all get together, they all agree. Yeah, we love that show because there's got to be some truth behind the madness.
Okay,
Well, there's
how
a lot
do
of-
all these civilizations thousands of miles away all have pyramids? How they all have a pyramid? How come there's pyramids in like South America, Mexico, and the Egypt ones? There's some in Malaysia, Indonesia. So how did everyone know but to build a pyramid and to look at the stars the same way?
Yeah.
There's even markings and hieroglyphics
That are the
in
same.
caves that are the same, even though the civilizations never coexisted.
Wow.
As far as like the mainstream historians want you to believe,
Right.
because people are a curious nature, and they get on boats and they knew how to sail, and they had all that stuff figured out way before credit is given.
That's our thinking.
No, for sure. And
I love the movie Men in Black when they show the big billboard of all the celebrities that are actually aliens and how they watch them.
That's funny. Yeah.
Like Michael Jackson was up there, Al Roker.
Dennis Rodman, of course.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's really funny. And
Of course.
I was gonna say what's interesting about the stars stuff too is I was reading this book about like the process of how people, because like people originally thought that like Earth was the center of the universe, and then
Right.
the sun, like people like were like executed like straight up because they're like they
Right, their beliefs were
yeah,
the
yeah,
church.
their beliefs, they're like, and it was just a really interesting story about like how, like knowledge kind of like, and it is really interesting too, like the way that knowledge is like presided through that, because there's like, it's like alchemical, like books and stuff like that were, they're like written in code because they're telling stories.
Mhm.
It's really like a, it's really like a recipe to how to make like lead or something like that. So it is, that the knowledge transfer is really interesting, especially across like.
Oh no, they're trying to make gold. They're trying to make gold.
The
out of that.
Alchemist.
Yeah, but I think they were trying to make lead from gold, I think, but there was also like, I don't know, it's like a whole bunch of stuff they were trying to make, like they're trying to make like immortality or whatever, like it would so.
Right,
Mhm.
right.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of people though, like across cultures, like there's like that cross of like certain things, like immortality is one. Someone's like, oh, that'd be so cool, like medieval European history. There's like immortality, and then like Chinese ancient, like feng shui kind of stuff. Like there's like talking about immortality too. So it is interesting to see like that cross, that cross cultural like kind of
Civilization, yeah.
Yeah,
Cool.
it's crazy world we live in. That's for sure.
What TV shows do you watch, Nick, that blow your mind?
Oh, that blew my mind. Well, recently, I've been like, this isn't like a. I mean, I've just been watching like Looney Tunes, like old school Looney Tunes, and I watch it specifically for like some of the animation and art in it is actually really, really good. Like I don't have to talk about this too long, but basically, like for that video game I was developing, I wanted to use that art style where.
Right.
It's that 2D like Bugs Bunny, Tex Avery kind of animation.
Right.
And it's really impressive, like, because they're doing this all by hand and doing it on cells nowadays. Like a lot of animation for cartoons and everything is like through computers, and it's just
Right.
something where
Digital, yeah.
you like where everything is so flat, and even though it's a cartoon, it's supposed to be like extraordinary. But these cartoons are so like the exaggerations and the emotions are so heightened. It's just really interesting to see that.
I love that you're watching Looney Tunes because Dave loves Looney Tunes.
It's great,
I'd
and
like
everyone,
to-
literally everyone around the world loves it. It's a universal thing.
That's one of the things I liked about Disney was going like on some of the behind the scenes things, or like you might how they do some of the sketches and all the backgrounds that they have that are all the same, and then they just change the characters' movements and stuff. So it's really, to me, it's interesting how those artists could just whip out
They're great. They're
those
crazy.
pictures and they're all perfectly the same. That's what fascinates me, because when I draw something, I can barely. A lot of times I can't get it the same the second time around. I can only do it once. But when they can do it repeatedly the same, it's pretty amazing.
Yeah, it's awesome.
And what's crazy too is like, because I watched some behind the scenes stuff too, and so like there's this big rift between like Bugs Bunny, MGM, Warner Brothers Animation, like in the older days.
Oh yeah.
Because they're like, I'll watch some cartoons where they're like ripping on Mickey Mouse. They're like, oh, who's this nerd? Like, they don't like do Mickey Mouse. It's like a mouse, and you're like, oh, like this guy's lame. And then like they hit him with a hammer or something like that. Like, it's so funny, like just how like sarcastic. Like, it's funny. Like it's like easily like 80 years old, but it's still really funny.
It's like I like watching old Johnny Carson's on YouTube. Just to watch like the old comedians, because you can just Google Buddy Hackett or Steve Martin,
Yeah.
Rodney Dangerfield, and you get all of their appearances on there, and you don't have to see the whole show. You just see their 15 minutes that they're on, and
Yes.
damn, it's all clean and it's all funny.
Yeah.
Is the thing I like. A lot of the comedians today have like, I don't know, they're just too vulgar, and they think it's funny, and it's like, come on, you're better than that. That's too easy.
It's like a high volume, but it's not. Yeah, I feel you.
Yeah, you know how the vagina and the penis jokes. Come on, yeah, we've heard them all. Come on, do something original.
Jerry Seinfeld is like a genius in keeping it clean, but being
Simplicity.
hilarious. Yeah.
Simplicity.
But you don't like that one, God, what was his name? Hickory Dickory Dock.
Oh, Andrew Dice Clay.
Yeah, yeah.
I've seen him. He's actually really funny.
Yeah, he's very funny, but he's vulgar too, and but he's got short jokes that just work with the way that he
just
talks.
quick.
Yeah, he's awesome. Yeah, that's for sure.
He's awesome.
He's awesome. I go see him. Yeah, yeah, you have. He's yeah, that's funny. So what else, Nick? What else we got here as we're getting ready to wrap?
Should we talk about some gardening, maybe?
Yeah, do you want to talk about gardening again?
Yeah, let's talk about gardening. So I guess my thoughts on so what I want to do in the backyard is I do want to get a tree back there. I was thinking an oak, but then Antlin said a maple. That sounds kind of
Oaks are good. They just take forever to grow.
yeah.
They're slow grow.
Take my advice. The sugar maple is the best.
That way you can get syrup out of it.
Yeah, and it's a really beautiful tree in the fall. It gets really red. The maple tree is to me the best tree for low maintenance. Just check the height. I'm not sure how deep your backyard is. And buy a real small baby one so that way it can acclimate well.
Yeah, it doesn't just.
Do you have neighbors behind you?
I don't, luckily, which is nice. We have like it's just like a wild patch, which I really like. They put in like the separation between the houses, so I have neighbors right on my sides, but behind me it's like a little patch, and then it's more houses, so there's a little bit of separation there.
Okay, good. Yeah. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, when you're ready, when we come to your house next, like in 2 weeks, we'll take a look and give whatever advice we want. So before you purchase, talk to Uncle Bo. He's got all the answers.
Yeah, I was like really gung ho. I was like, oh man, I really want to do it like right when we move in. But then you always like, no, like we're gonna be moving in. You always do this where you like get so excited about something, then like yeah, it's just like too much responsibility on yourself, and it's like
July is a tough month to start planting new things too, because as you see, you're just out there watering all the time. Pain in the ass. But coming up here on the fall is a good time to do a few things, and then definitely the spring. But the springtime I've found the last few years, you gotta be quick to work in the spring because you'll have like only a couple weeks where it's like the right temperature for spring stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It might be too wet, too cold, and then it'll be perfect, and then all of a sudden it'll be like 6,000 degrees.
Yeah, here it says the fall is the best time. I just Googled it. Yeah.
Different plants too, like some plants like being planted in fall and some in spring. It just depends on.
Yeah, it does matter. Yeah.
Yeah.
Some perennials like the fall, but some don't.
It's fun though.
Yeah, if you want any tulips, you got to plant them in the fall.
I do like.
Yeah, tulips are a pain in the ass.
Yeah. Do you have a lot of deer out there?
Not by us, but I do see some every once in a while.
Okay.
As long as they're not walking through your neighborhood.
Yeah.
We've been having issues with bunnies, but
Yeah, we have bunnies for sure.
Don't even say
a
it.
little less so lately. I'll just say we have 5 dogs, so
Oh yeah.
and one of them is rather quick.
Yeah, she's speedy.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
At 3:00 in the morning, quick.
And here's one of my best tips about the wonderful, beautiful sunflower. If you plant it, make sure you have it planted so that way it's facing the southeast. If you plant it and you have northern exposure, it will not bloom in front of you. It will bloom behind you, and no one wants to see the back end of a sunflower. So make sure you plant it in a section of your yard where you can see it and where it will follow the sun.
Yeah, we planted some in this gardening group we're part of for an elder daycare service, and I guess she planted them the way she just threw them all over, and I was like, oh okay, I guess we're just throwing them here. But I think she did plan that ahead, the lady who runs the garden, because when I came back, and they sprouted so fast too. They're like
They grow like crazy.
Yeah, they're like like giant weeds, but they're pretty. They're really nice now.
Well,
Yeah.
actually, they are a weed. Dandelions are part of the sunflower family.
Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so they are technically, so sunflowers technically are a weed.
Or maybe a dandelion is a flower.
You know what? I think you got me there.
Yeah, there you
We
go.
have a book that's got like, I don't know, 2,000 different kinds of sunflowers in it.
They have different varieties.
Something ridiculous.
Yep.
And on the cover is a dandelion.
No, it's a sunflower.
I know. They don't-
I know. I know.
Check my sources.
There you go. All right, Nick, should we conclude? We're well over our half hour.
Yeah, no, that was great, guys, and yeah, thanks for talking with me. And
Got some other stuff I can bring in.
Yeah, Dave's going to be thinking all week
We'll-
about
we'll-
what the next one
We'll
will
talk
be.
about this climate change bullshit next. If you-
Yeah, yeah. He's got a lot to say in climate change.
No one on that, man. One on that.
Okay.
New York used to be under 300 feet of ice about 15,000 years ago. Well, tell me, where did that go? Oh, it all melted.
Yes, yes, it did.
We are technically in a warming trend, and it will continue. And there's nothing you can do about it until you can cap the volcanoes that put out all the poison gas. There's nothing
Nothing
that's
you can
going to
do.
happen.
Yeah.
We'll have to bring a climate.
But at least now, through all the interventions, we can breathe cleaner air.
Yeah, until you come here and get fire smoke from the forest fires and can't go outside because it's 100. Well, the thing's 170. You gag you when you go out there.
Dave always brings those wonderful things to the conversation.
Next is Illinois state politics.
Yes, yes.
And
I
how
love
I
it.
want
I
to
love the way. I love the term.
I want to secede from the state.
You want to?
Leave Chicago in the dust, man. They're killing us. Take all those politicians and put them on a boat.
Yeah,
There you go.
Cool. Well,
I'm
I'm
about to
going
Lake
off there,
Michigan.
but,